Ragnarok spoiler talk, and we have a very special guest, by the way, before we even go any further. Yes.
It's not me. I'm not the special guest.
We have Anita Star on from...
Anita Stargazer, my channel.
Follow that channel, subscribe on that channel, alright? And also we're going to have some of, we'll have a link below in the description for that as well. But definitely check out Anita's channel, she's got some great content on there. I've been on the channel before, hopefully Jason can get on there one time too.
I would love to have you on the channel.
Cool. Do it, Jay. But yeah, definitely check out her channel.
It's always a good time.
Yeah, definitely check out her channel, she's got great content on there, so subscribe to that, guys. Now,
Sweet.
Anita and I have actually been talking about doing this spoiler talk for a while because in our personal opinions, and I'm biased because Anita's a good friend of mine, I personally think she should have played Hela in this movie. She looks good, but you know what? We'll settle for Cate Blanchett. To be fair,
Steal it from me.
Yeah, she was pretty good.
She was
not
excellent.
Gonna lie. Yeah.
I gotta say that I would have not done the same job as her, so I'm glad she went ahead and took the role from me. Totally fine with me.
Yeah, I mean, she was just super menacing from the second she even got on screen. Just like
beautiful menacing, you know what I mean? She's just like, that's probably, the most beautiful I've ever seen her.
Yeah, I think she looked good with the black hair, and when she would just go like this, and then her crown would come out. Super awesome.
And that skin tight. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I think also what I loved and appreciated about her was not only was she a badass with her hand-to-hand skills and like where she took out literally an army by herself.
Yeah.
Like it just showed you how menacing and how much of a threat she was. But also, you know, like her motivations and her lines were just really interesting, and I just loved like her backstory and like why Odin banished her. Because she was getting, you know, too dangerous with what they were trying to do, and he wanted to be, you know, more about preserving and peace, and that was not in her agenda in any way. So I just thought there was a very interesting backstory, and also how she got her power, you know, from Asgard, and that's why she wanted to take it over. But I think what I loved most about her, and she kind of fits my favorite type of villain in films, where you don't agree with what they're doing, but you understand their motivations. You understand why they're doing what they're doing, and those are the villains I find to be the most interesting and most compelling. And I felt that she just was insane just from a threat level, but just gorgeous to look at on screen and really wonderful to listen to. Like, just her dialogue alone, even if you gave me no action, she was so interesting and wonderful to listen to, and I loved her performance. She's probably one of my favorite MCU villains ever.
Yeah, definitely me too. I think that the fact that she played that character so well, but it was just so lovable, even though she was death, and there was so much chaos. It was just you still thought she was awesome. Like,
and she was funny too.
Yeah, she was.
No, it's definitely.
I thought the whole movie was great, like super funny.
Definitely.
Totally.
Yeah, no. And a lot of people are complaining about the humor, that there's just way too much. It's another Marvel movie, too much humor. But for me, what I loved about the humor in this film, and there definitely was a good amount of humor. I'm not going to defend and say there wasn't.
Yeah.
But what I loved about the humor in this film is it lightened up the dark undertones that were going throughout the film, and I just thought it really lightened the mood and just balanced out with the rest of what was going on in a way that there's a lot of humor in this action adventure. Like, I didn't look at it as, this is a straight up comedy. Like, I don't view it that way.
Yeah,
there's a lot of serious moments going on.
I mean, the focus, I feel like, was on the comedic undertone of it, but there's so much other crazy shit going on that, I mean, it was kind of competing with that too, so.
My name's Korg. This is Meek. We didn't get on that spaceship. Want to come? I love those awkward, funny
really
moments.
Cute.
They're so great.
I loved it.
Hey man.
Great characters.
Hey man. I love Taika Waititi's voice. It's very good. And by the way, we got to give props to Taika Waititi. That guy. If you haven't seen some of his other films, he makes some hilarious films. And also, if you watch some of his other films, you would understand a lot of the humor delves from a lot of his other films. So, and again, it didn't bother me to the point I'm like, the comedy is just, it's taking me out of the film at this point. I felt
it wasn't too much.
Yeah, I felt that every moment called for it, and really, I've seen the film twice now, and I really didn't find too many jokes that fell flat. I can't really think of too many even at this moment.
Not really.
No, it gave me a good feeling when I saw. I was like, okay, it took me out a little bit of the seriousness to give me that little bit of like, this is like, it's very relatable humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the part where he was in the beginning where he was like turning on the thing.
That
was perfect because you don't see that really in movies. You don't see moments where it's like, okay, a thing would actually turn.
I swear I'm not doing this on purpose.
Yeah.
I thought we were connecting.
Yeah. So it's like you don't see that.
And
you don't see like, okay, this ship might have.
Well, that first scene,
Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
I have a potty mouth, so when I go on other people's channels, I'm like, wait a minute.
It's all
Shame
good.
on you.
I know. I'm gonna go.
That first,
guys, she
first
really
scene,
is a good girl. Don't judge her by this one video.
Judge me by the video. Just do it. Just. Just judge.
But yeah, that first scene, I was really like, okay, they're going strong on the comedy heavy right away. But then after that, I like adjusted and I was totally cool with it the rest of the time.
But I feel like it set the tone
Yeah,
for like
totally.
get you ready for, okay, this is going to be kind of funny.
And like
it's not going to just
in
be
the last
all
few
like,
Thor movies, like there is a opening monologue in the beginning, but this one is like Thor telling about himself, so it's just more comedy in that sense.
I'm not gonna lie, I did miss that opening montage and monologue that we did have from the first two films, but because of how amazing that first scene was and setting the tone and I like the first, I believe after he like starts I would have laughed so hard if he would have named that skeleton Wilson or something like that, but no, if he the first line he's speaking with Surtur, he's like, Thor, son of Odin, Surtur, son of bitch.
Yes,
I love that
it's
humor. It was so funny. I'm like, that's something Thor would say though.
Absolutely.
Like I don't know.
Now he will say it. Like in the very beginning, I feel like the first Thor he was a little bit stiff with that, but then once he got with the Avengers and like he just loosened up, it's like when you're around Rob Stark, how can you not be a sarcastic?
Tony Stark,
Robert Downey. Wrong show.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Hey, tell Andrew right now to get on that show.
Part.
You gotta tell Andrew to get on that show right now.
Robert Downey Jr.
Which show?
So
Which show do I have to watch?
Game of Thrones, the one that I accidentally said wrong. I'm not a movie buff. I'm just here to
I am going to get on Game of Thrones.
Comic relief, and I'm just here for the people that don't know about movies.
You remember Stark. I'm going to defend you.
Ned Stark. I always get names wrong. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like lyrics and music, man, I'll just make up my own words to them, you know, like YMCB, like, you know, just I don't know things. But thank you for having me nonetheless. But I thought that Tony Stark, that kind of brought that humor into this whole like Marvel universe, you know, movies, and it was great because I feel like from the Iron Man movies, those were like where we really got that kind of humor, you know what I mean? So it was nice to see that interjected into Ragnarok.
No, definitely. And really quick before we even continue, normally Jason and I, when we do a non-spoiler review, we give you our favorite quotes. We didn't want to do that in this one. We didn't kind of want to give away because we didn't want to give away any lines, Anita.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay, but we're kind of going to give away our favorite quote right now because we couldn't give it to you on that non-spoiler one. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I had several favorite quotes, but I'm only going to give you the top two of mine. The line from Loki where he's falling in that portal from Doctor Strange and he lands and he goes, I have been falling for 30 minutes! I'm sorry,
so good!
Like,
it was hilarious.
Tom Hiddleston's delivery in that line,
gosh.
it's anytime Tom Hiddleston delivers a line, I'm intrigued, but that line was hysterical.
Every time he enters the screen, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, no, definitely. And also, really quick, just from a comedic point of view, I think my other favorite line was when Thor goes back to Asgard and he notices something's up with his father. He says, hello, father. Oh, shit. Like, I love Anthony as Loki impersonating Odin, but Anthony Hopkins' delivery and line there, hysterical. And sorry, one more quote. I'm going to cheat. Last one, guys. I know, it's favorite quote.
We have quotes too, okay?
Sorry. I'm sorry. Really quick. When Odin says, I love you, my sons. From a dramatic and compelling backstory point of view, I'd always was a little annoyed at that scene in Thor: The Dark World where we didn't see his reaction to when he thought Loki might have died. This kind of set that scene back for me in a good way in terms of now you really got that notion feeling, even though he was disappointed in what Loki had done on Earth, he's still deep down it's still his son. He still loves him, and it really hit the dramatic side for me, that scene.
Yeah. How about you?
Oh, I think my favorite line or part was when they're starting to form the team a little bit, and Loki's all tied up, and Thor's telling the story that this one time he turned into a snake. He knows I love snakes.
Oh, that was so cute. I love that part so much.
And then he turns back and says, it's me, and stabs him right in the chest. So I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. That was great.
And then Loki's like, yeah, I did that. He just gives that look. How about you?
Me, personally, I thought, like, the part where the girls were taking the pictures, and then they were like, sorry about what happened with Jane or something. What was her line?
It was a mutual dumping.
Yeah. And then and I was just like, really? That's how they're going to end it with Jane? Like, really? That's all. I love Natalie Portman. Can't you give her a death scene or something?
She wasn't going to film anything. She didn't want to come back
done?
at all.
Oh, dang. I didn't know that.
It was because of what happened in Thor: The Dark World. Patty Jenkins was supposed to come onto that film, the director of Wonder Woman, and she left for Hollywood's favorite thing to say, scheduling, or rather creative differences.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of like irreconcilable differences.
right?
Might as well say
She got a
the same
divorce
thing.
from
Exactly,
the Thor
exactly.
franchise.
So that's, and I know Natalie Portman was
should've
not happy.
still
Yeah, Natalie Portman. I know it would
Giving
be
her
cool.
something, like
but
even a stunt double in a car somewhere blowing up.
the
and
back
like,
of her head.
Okay,
or
that
You know
I would
what
have
I
been
mean?
that I would have been okay with, but
Then-
because we didn't get her back, I thought the substitute of Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie was a very good substitute. And I gotta say
Yeah.
too, I love that Tessa Thompson. She
was
based
sick.
her performance a lot on Linda Hamilton's Sarah Connor from Terminator 2: Judgment Day, and I saw parts and issues of that because, and again, I loved her backstory too, where she's got a crazy backstory with Hela in terms of Hela's destroyed all her friends in Valkyrie, and now she lives in a life of solitude and drink, and she obviously lives by
I
drinking.
thought she was inspired from Captain Jack Sparrow, personally.
That's-
A little
That
bit.
kinda-
When she comes out and she's all wasted.
Wasted and
just-
she
just
falls
over.
off. I thought
Okay.
that was
Great.
brilliant.
That part I'll give you more of the Jack Sparrow.
And I'm like, what is she doing with her? She's like, what is happening? And then all of a sudden she has the ship and the
Yeah,
gun.
was
That was
sick.
sick. I would have liked to see that again. Maybe
Oh yeah,
at some
me
point,
too.
But
Definitely.
At least we got it once. Once
That
is
was-
better than none.
that was awesome.
The nuts. Sorry. Once is better than nuts. Oh man, yeah, no, I thought that she did a great job. What I didn't quite what didn't resonate well with me was the fact that she survived Hela. I don't know. I feel like Hela wouldn't have left any survivors.
Yeah, I mean, she got pushed out of the way, but then where did she
But
go?
then it's like Hela would have finished the job. You know what I mean? But okay, maybe there's a backstory there about something that saved her that we haven't seen, which I would love to see a backstory movie with that. Because that was it was very beautifully shot. It was all like slow-mo, and it was just gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I would love to see that movie.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be rad.
No, I agree with you, and I actually thought that was going to be the beginning of this film. I thought there was going to be an opening monologue and montage of showing Thor capturing Hela and also the Valkyrie all dying right before Odin comes in to save the day, and that's what I thought possibly happened. That's in my back of my mind is what I thought. Maybe Odin at that last moment in time, because we know Odin is the one who it's his life force that keeps Hela trapped, but he obviously physically had to do it first. But I wonder if maybe there's deleted footage that we didn't, because I know there's footage we didn't see from the trailers, but
Maybe.
yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
I'm gonna go with
for the
Odin's.
Blu-ray.
Hey, I'm done with that. I just want to say, I love Jeff Goldblum's performance.
He was hilarious.
Eccentric,
I
He just had to
totally,
be himself.
it was so strange and charismatic.
And I love that scene when him
just
and
him, you know?
Yeah, and then Loki and Thor are whispering, and he comes up what are we whispering about?
He was so perfect.
Yeah,
I couldn't have gotten a better Grandmaster.
And then also when he's
honestly.
and then also that synthetic music we got that was playing along with him, and that the trippy
And
vibes
he's
we
just,
got.
and he's just jamming along. He's just doing his own thing.
I love that stuff, and again, that's just Jeff Goldblum being himself.
Just
and
himself.
and again, I loved his character too, and how narcissistic the ego he had. And we know nobody's got a bigger ego than, of course, Kurt Russell in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. But yeah, no, I mean, look, I love Jeff Goldblum's personality in this film. It was in ways relatable, but just again, watching him in that crazy trippy makeup and doing the lines of dialogue he had were so funny, and the chemistry he has with Tom Hiddleston and Chris Hemsworth, it's really very good.
Yeah.
There was
They had
that
some
one
great scenes.
There was
together.
that one scene where he's talking to them, and all of a sudden he just looks at Loki. He's like, oh hey.
Oh no,
He's perfect mannerisms.
He's about to say his age, and then he just goes off on something else.
Something else.
He just, I think he's attracted to him or what, but he just gets distracted.
You just don't know. And I also like the part. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I also like the part where that girl was gonna give him the death stick or whatever, the melting thing, and he's like, "Yo, chill out a minute here."
That doesn't deserve capital punishment.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the fact that you saw he's got a little side where he's not all cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I can't even say the cereal right.
And also he's very PC in terms of how he treats his customer or his clientele rather, or at least obviously it seems he's very attracted to Valkyrie because he's like, I was thinking of a name to call her. It starts with a B, bitch. No, what? No, you were just
trash.
Trash, right?
Trash.
You were just waiting to say that doesn't even rhyme with B. Best is the word. I love his like you said, his mannerisms, his facial expressions, his chemistry, and also with Tessa Thompson was really good. I love those scenes.
It just was perfect for this movie because of the because it was so funny all the way through, and he was just perfect for that.
Yeah, he was so perfect.
Definitely. Really quick, though, I do want to talk about the scene where Odin is with his two sons. I kind of already briefly mentioned of that quote where I love you, my sons.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the way that scene was filmed, because originally, if you watch the trailers, that was supposed to all be in New York, where Hela's destroying Mjolnir, and that's their first encounter with Hela. So they did change. There was also some set pictures of Anthony Hopkins as a homeless man, so that's where they found him in that Ace Ventura Easter egg Shady Acres. So, but basically, I love that how they switched it to a more of an open playing field in such a beautiful setting, because it sets the tone for that very sad and dramatic scene that we're about to get. And I just love the lines of dialogue again of the I love you, my sons, and letting them know that Hela's their sister.
I know.
Kind of was wrong on that one. I thought that she was going to be Loki's mom, where in the comics...
Oh, I could see that, though.
I thought that was going to happen.
That would make sense, to be fair.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
I thought that's what was going to happen.
Black hair.
Yeah.
Piercing blue eyes.
Yeah, kind of. Like, and they both did say...
hair.
Neil. So,
Yeah.
so they have a lot of... Well, do you remember when...
in Avengers.
Loki says to the crowd and to Captain America, Neil.
And
then she says to Neil, and that's why he goes, I beg your pardon. Like, that's my line, you know? So,
okay.
Yeah, so...
Can I just say that Thor has the most dysfunctional family, like, of all time?
I would say he's a typical American family.
Yeah, true. Well, I think with all, like,
even
the
though
secret...
He's Australian, there's a typical...
Well, hey, to be fair to Thor, his brother Loki is adopted.
He's adopted?
That's what I'm saying, man. You got your typical American family. Broken homes, adopted children, fucked up parents, crazy sisters. You know what? What more do you want from a family, really? That would make it, like, relatable, really.
Well, like, even with all, like, the secret backstory of Odin, how he was really a conqueror with Hela, and, like...
Yes.
And, you know, how it was all hidden behind those paintings, and she broke that down.
That was rad.
Yeah.
And
She was
again...
holding
The moving paintings and stuff.
Yeah.
Super cool.
No, go. Yeah, no, the way you were just about to say, when she catches Mjolnir, like, again, it just sets the tone in terms of how menacing and dangerous this character is before, of course, she lays waste to the Asgardian army. But the way she catches Mjolnir kind of reminded me a little visually of when in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, when the Winter Soldier catches the shield.
Yeah.
It kind of mirrored that visual a little bit for me.
Got that vibe.
But again, I just love, and then when they go through the Bifrost, and then she throws Loki off into space, or off to Sakaar, and then she's battling it out with Thor. Like, the trippy visuals and going through the Bifrost just were so well done. The cinematography in this film too, really good.
Isn't it cinematography?
Sure, we'll call it that if you want.
I'm joking. It's a running joke because I don't know shit about movies.
You know your stuff. Come on.
Just because of my friends. Seriously, like, y'all have been, like, bringing me more into this whole movie.
All right, well, I'll tell you this, guys.
Thank
Fun
you.
fact about Anita: she's a diehard Tim Burton fan. So when we film the Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands reviews on this channel, she's coming on. I think I'm gonna have to convince her to put me in Beetlejuice makeup for that review. What do you guys think?
Dude, I would totally do that. I mean,
You should totally do that.
Apparently, guys, I give a
help.
very bad Beetlejuice impersonation.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's the worst I've ever heard.
Are you
kidding me?
I don't know if I should do it, guys. We'll see.
I feel like you should save it. They should wait until that video. Like, we should definitely save that for the Beetlejuice.
It will be saved.
It shall
Saved
indeed.
It shall happen. Last thing I just want to say about that Odin scene where he he dissolves into the golden dust. I love the music by Mark Mothersbaugh in that scene, like the Scottish and Irish violinish operatic music we got. It really again set the mood and just that sadness you feel for, even when you hear that he's a conqueror, like, you're still very invested in the character of Odin. So just watching that scene play out, it kind of also felt a little bit like Yoda when he kind of dissolves into nothing for Return of the Jedi.
That was reminiscent of you.
Yeah, a little bit. But I thought it was, again, the three of them, whenever they're in a scene together, they just really nail that family camaraderie and history. They're a fucked up family, but they do feel like a family. So
I really like the word violinish.
All right, so one of the scenes that I had a little bit of a gripe with, I mean, again, I thought this movie was, for the most part, incredible. It had some incredible performances, the camera, etc. But one of my gripes in this film was the scene where Hela kills the Warriors 3. She does kill... I'll give you a defense that Hogan was killed a little bit later on, but the way she kills Volstagg and Fandral... It happened very quickly, and I just didn't feel the way... I get why. They wanted to establish her as a menacing threat and how she destroys the armor. I just think I would have if you're not going to save these characters for later films, which I understand, fine. You want to kill them off. You want to add some more, tension to the story, and if it goes along with the story and makes it better, fine. Yeah. I wanted to feel Thor's reaction to finding out his 3 friends had died because I
never even talked about
these are his best friends.
You don't get
I wanted to feel how Thor felt when my friends died, or even seeing Thor, seeing it from Heimdall's perspective. Any way they could. I just wanted to feel how Thor felt when he found out about his friends. Maybe that would have angered him to almost killing Hela or something.
Yeah.
It just could have added so much more weight to that.
At least a scene where he comes back and he sees them or something.
Yeah, just something. It's just I'm like, does Thor know that the Warriors 3 died? Because I don't know if he knows. I couldn't tell.
There was no resolution there. I don't feel like we got to.
I'm not mad that you killed, even though I still would have liked to have kept them alive. But
it would have been nice if they at least put up
put up a little more of a fight.
There's no way they're beating her, but at least a swing of a sword and then they're dead, not just dead in 1 second.
I kind of agree with that too.
Hela.
But
she's rad.
Yeah. She don't care if you're in the top 5 main cast or top 10. She doesn't care.
She's giving them to everyone. Yeah.
And then just really quick, I love again how she just lays waste to the Asgardian army, and again she
by
is
herself.
Yeah, by herself. She doesn't have her minions around or a Chitauri army or something.
She chucks those knives out of nowhere.
And the choreography and the hand-to-hand, the
flips
fight,
and stuff.
And the cinematography, it's done way better than Danny Rand and Iron Fist. Way better.
I mean, I think
because I know those movies.
TV show.
Sorry.
Well, I thought
because I know those TV shows. Why am I here? I love you guys so much.
Because you're Hela.
Oh, that's.
Or you should have been.
They love.
But yeah, the cinematography in all of the fight scenes was really good. It just added even more to the action. Just so visually stunning and it was like eye candy pretty much just seeing all the fighting.
It really was.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. It was beautiful.
I mean, most of the Marvel movies have good cinematography, but I feel like this one some of the scenes really stood out. Maybe not the best fighting, not as much as Captain America, Winter Soldier or something like that, but just the scenes as a whole I thought looked great.
Yeah.
Very visually appealing.
It was extremely visually appealing.
Like Anita, it is visually appealing. Aww. Now, really quickly, I gotta mention too. I think I loved a lot in this film was it kind of harpened onto what Iron Man 3 did and also what Spider-Man Homecoming in terms of it's not the suit or the hammer or the Iron Man suits or whatever. It's not that makes you the hero. It's you. Mm-hmm. You have it within you. And I just like how they really focus a lot on the story. Like this film is, I think Jason put it best, it's an event-driven story, but at the same point there are very good character moments throughout the film. And I love that from Thor in this film is where, again, he has to learn that it's not the hammer. The hammer is just there for concentration and helping him focus what's already inside of him, that Odin force. And basically, I think the line he says, because that's what heroes would do. Like, he is a hero. Like, he, obviously, Anita said he got lessons from Tony Stark, in the past. But
Rob Stark.
Yeah, Rob Stark, rather. But,
he knows nothing, right?
I love the progression of where this...
bringing in all the Game of Thrones references.
Yeah, we are, guys. I love where this character has come from the beginning of Thor to where he is now... seemingly at the end of Thor Ragnarok, at the beginning of Avengers Infinity War. I just love where this character has progressed from the place he started to the place he's come to. So,
and I like the way they did it too, where he's learning how to use all that thunder. At first when he's in the fight with Hulk, kind of a warm up fight, and it just shows Odin kind of zoom in a few times, and then he just supercharges up. Mm-hmm. But then at the end when he's fighting Hela, that's when he zooms out and he's actually having the conversation with Odin about that. And I thought the build up to that was really good and just kind of how that all played out.
What kind of bothered me about that whole electricity thing and harnessing
him
the
going
energy.
Raiden?
No, it was the little thing that gave him shocks of electricity. I'm like, yo, wait a minute.
Hey, sparkles.
Hey, sparkles.
No, that was from his fingers though. But it's if he's got all this electric power, and the thunder and the lightning and the electric, why does the sparky thing affect him? You know what I mean? That was okay.
Oh, the little thing in the neck you're talking about?
Yeah, the thing that gave him the electric shock.
I'd say because
I don't know exactly if that was electric shock or just something in his veins or whatever.
It was sparky as well.
No, I know what you're saying. I would say my defense. I would say my defense of that is it does come from Valkyrie, and we know that she is an Asgardian. Mm-hmm. So maybe she knows the tech.
Maybe she has kryptonite type of thing.
Either that, or she knows the tech in order to stop an Asgardian.
Yeah.
Maybe. That is an interesting point.
It's a valid concern. I mean, I didn't really think about that, but it must be pretty strong to be able to stop Thor and Loki. So.
I mean, but the electric part though.
But is it electric?
They're
But I know
all
they're like shocked and
his-
stuff. But
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know.
if you rewatch it, you see like when it gets shocked, like electric things, and I'm
Yeah,
just
like,
like,
you see his-
there's
all his
currents.
veins and stuff.
Also,
Yeah.
Harnessing.
it also kind
the
of played.
electricity.
It kind of referenced back a little to the first Thor in the hospital, where they like kind of just get him.
They shock him.
Where they shock him. They keep like knocking him down unconscious.
Yeah.
But that's when he was mortal.
Yeah, no. I know.
True.
I just mean like call back a little bit. But then we gotta say I love when Hela then takes the eternal flame and then she resurrects that entire
backflip.
That was such a cool move. And she's like,
you want to see real power?
I know.
Yeah,
but I thought it was interesting that they used something from the first movie, an Easter egg, the Eternal Flame, which is, of course, from Muspelheim. It's what, of course, gives Surtur his power, especially when you put the crown on top of it. That's what helps resurrect him and makes him reborn.
That's pretty awesome.
But I thought it was interesting that they used the Eternal Flame, something of an Easter egg from the first film, now as an actual plot point to this film in resurrecting the army and also and Fenris Wolf.
Puppy! It was so cute.
Oh, I want a Fenris Wolf.
Me too.
It was adorable. One of those that you're...
Dire Rennerous Wolf.
Fenris.
Watch Game of Thrones, Andrew.
Fenris. Fenris. Yeah, never mind. Have you not seen Game of Thrones?
I am going to be on it at some point, guys. Do not worry.
Soon.
I've been giving away a lot of spoilers.
I don't even remember anything you've said.
Good.
Not really. You haven't
Don't
spoiled
rewatch
much.
In
You
regards to
haven't
Game of
spoiled
Thrones.
No.
Anyways.
Actually, I'm just saying things about it, I guess. You probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about now. I feel stupid for referencing any of that because you're just like laughing and you're like, I have no idea what this bitch is saying.
This is one of those laughs where like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I totally get it, Anita. You're so cute.
Yeah, you totally get it.
Movie
You're so
review.
cute. Movie review, yeah.
So anyway. So yeah, it was pretty awesome to see her resurrect that beautiful beast.
That was cool because
monster.
that was because I originally thought that maybe she was gonna like the fallen Asgardian warriors. Maybe she was gonna kind of because she's the goddess of death. Maybe she was gonna resurrect those guys.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a cool little twist on her getting her actual army. Kind of felt a little similar to Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King when he brings back the army of the dead. So kind of like that. That's really
Army
cool.
of the Dead, yeah.
So there you go. So we did talk about the Warriors 3. We forgot to kind of mention Lady Sif. Now I know Jamie.
Where was she?
She would have stopped help. No, probably not. But I
Wait,
mean,
hold on. Who's Lady Sif? Sorry, not a comic.
Have you seen
from
the first
Did you see
Thor
the
movie?
first two movies?
Yes.
She's the girl in the war. She's the four. Remember the four warriors? The Warriors 3 and Lady Sif.
Yeah. Oh.
She's
yeah,
the
now
girl.
I know who she is.
Yeah.
Okay. The girl. You should
Yeah,
have
I'll
said the girl.
restart
Yeah,
that.
please.
Yeah.
Edit out.
So we kind of mentioned earlier about the Warriors 3 and their deaths, but one person who was missing from Thor's friends group was, of course, Lady Sif, being played by Jamie Alexander. Now, I did do some back reading on this, and it said that she said that Marvel Studios contacted her literally very late in the process, and she was already filming something and just could not get out of the scheduling conflicts that she had with that. So that's why she did not appear in the film. I wish at least they would have just made some mention. Sif is off on another realm, attending to some. Just make some kind of little Thor. Just hey, where's
She
Sif?
had a bad breakup and had to
Hey, there
go
you-
off
there you
and
go.
to
Why
make
didn't
herself
Marvel
feel better?
Studios?
I
You
don't
guys
know.
are making mistakes by not hiring Anita. She is
I
ready to
mean,
go whenever you guys are ready.
Gotcha. Just put me in the roles, man. I can play them.
But I would have liked some kind of a resolve because I am one. I hope she comes
Maybe
back
she'll
in
come back,
Infinity.
yeah.
I hope she's in
She got
Infinity
to avenge
War.
her friends.
The Revengers.
I thought that was hilarious and very
so
clever.
Because we want revenge and you want revenge. And what about you? I'm undecided.
I'm undecided.
Yeah, I know, that was cute.
Mark Ruffalo was pretty good
I
in this
know.
one.
I love Mark Ruffalo. I mean, look, I've made my feelings be known. I love Edward Norton.
I
He's
love
personally
Edward Norton.
he's personally my favorite Bruce Banner, but Mark Ruffalo is steadily
Yeah,
climbing
no, he's
that.
good.
They're
I
both
don't
very
know,
good.
man.
They're both very good. I really.
It's a totally different vibe, though.
It is a very different
It is.
vibe.
And I feel like even in this movie, Mark Ruffalo is even more different than he has been.
Yeah, that's why I think
agree
I'm
with that.
starting to enjoy him even more.
It was really nice to see the Hulk too. Like
Yeah.
just his
The Hulk be
personality.
the Hulk, yeah.
Yeah, it was so cute and doofusy. It was so like.
That's another one of my
Thor,
another one of my favorite lines when he they bring in what's her name, Valkyrie, and he like chucks the thing. Stay, please.
I know, it's so cute. It was so cute.
Yeah, he's got that teenage vibe in him where he's having like some
and like
having some drama.
And then when him and Thor are fighting and he says, "Everyone does hate you on Earth," and he just
that made me so sad. I was like, you better say you're sorry, Thor.
He's like a big kid.
I don't like that, Thor. It was rude.
And again, just adding more of what you guys are saying, I love the dialogue between the two of them. Like it adds that sense of history that they have where they're on the team together. But again, it also adds that vibe that we've really never gotten to see on the big screen where that's Hulk talking. I was loving it. I know some people had some issues with how he was reacting, but honestly, he was really only two. Some people thought he was
good.
Some people thought he was behaving too much like a teenage kid, but it's like he's only been in there for 2 years, so
but that's
just who the Hulk is. I don't know.
Like he's just a totally like id if you go by like the Freudian pyramid.
If I was hanging out in that room all day long, I'd feel like a big kid too. So like just chucking the ball around.
Yeah, and when he's fighting, when he's in the Gladiator moments and he's in the Planet Hulk part in the Gladiator, he's normal angry Hulk. So I don't know. I kind of like getting the balance of both of those personalities of the Hulk, where he's super angry and then also where he's more chillaxed and just enjoying, as you would say, being a big kid in that awesome room. Because that room is so
with
trippy
and
awesome.
Too.
Oh, that was
so nice.
So cute.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I loved a Hulk. I want to see more Hulk.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get to. There's a little film called Avengers Infinity War coming out soon, so you might be able to see him a little more.
I want to see more Hulk, though, not just Hulk.
Well,
Anita, be honest. Your favorite shot in this film was Hulk's ass, right? And then also Thor's like,
that's in my brain now.
Thor, that's in my brain now. I couldn't really care less about Thor. I'm sorry. Loki's my boy, though.
Oh, Loki
would have got shirtless, I'd have been like, draw.
Where is the Tom Hiddleston shirtless scene, guys?
Oh, please.
Anita is waiting, and many other females, I'm sure.
A lot of us, especially as spooky
Me too.
types.
He really. I'm sorry. He's by far my favorite character in the MCU.
Oh yeah,
so great.
By far. Tony Stark number 2, but he's right. He's
Rob.
there.
I just love.
I'm just gonna keep making that joke until it just.
It's a good joke.
I just love all the serious moments too, like between him and Thor, and all the family dynamic, and I just think he plays it off so good. And there's that one scene where they're like going up the elevator, like right before he says, "Let's get help" or whatever. But like,
no, it's humiliating.
He's like, maybe there is good in you, and he gives like that look. He's like, I mean, I think he's acting, but like, I mean, he's faking it. But like, he just gives that look. I'm like, oh, he's like actually contemplating. But he kind of threw me off a little bit because I know because right after that he totally betrayed him. But I don't know. Tom Hiddleston, man, is just such a good actor and such a good character.
Really
I think I also, not only what you just said, but I love the progression, even though he's still the god of mischief and you never know really what he's going to do, even though possibly in the back of your mind you think you might know what he's going to do.
Yeah. I think we're on to him.
Yeah, towards the end.
Thor even says, you're kind of predictable, brother.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
talking for the audience.
Yeah, no, of course. But towards the end, I just love like the progression in terms of how accepting he is now of Thor being the king. Because in the past, he was not accepting of that in any way. Especially, he's the one who ruined that in the first film. He's who ruined the coronation of Thor being king. So now that he's fully embraced and accepted, and he actually wants to be by his brother's side, like I thought that was really well earned. The progression and the arc that the character got throughout not only Thor and Thor 2 and the Avengers, but in this film as well.
But how long is that gonna last?
Well, obviously we know that Thanos is coming. He took the Tesseract, and that's going to be his bargaining chip from the deal he made in the Avengers, so he's got to use that. So we'll see what happens in regards to that. But I just, again, for the ending of this film, I did like that arc and progression we got with Loki.
Your savior is here!
Can we just talk about that awesome theater scene with Matt Damon?
So funny.
So
oh
good.
My god.
I actually liked that scene from that movie, but like the fact that they reenacted it was so good.
And I had no idea Matt Damon was going to be in. I had no idea. And
was that?
And also that was Sam Neill was as Odin, and also that was Luke or the Chris Hemsworth's brother Luke Hemsworth was playing Thor in that reenactment. But the reaction, we'll build a statue for you with the big horns, with the big horns. Like,
oh my! That scene
and then the operatic music from Brian Tyler's score from when he died in the second film. It's the same as Frigga's funeral.
No,
it's so funny.
And like when Odin is watching, he's like, he's like saying the lines, "I didn't do it for you."
Yeah.
He's just so ensued with self-glorification, Loki. But what I love about that whole thing is when Anthony Hopkins is behaving it's really Loki. He's still giving off
believable, dude.
He is not.
It's a great impersonation.
He is so totally nailing that
of Loki impersonating him. It was so like meta. It was so rad.
Oh shit!
I loved it. It was so good.
I've been busy with board meetings and council meetings.
Board meetings.
It was good.
So good. Yeah.
Well, it's not like Anthony Hopkins is a great actor or anything. So.
Oh, no.
Terrible. Have you seen Westworld?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Andrew hasn't.
So
Get on
off.
that one too.
What is wrong? I'm not even a movie TV.
I need to get
I need to get
on it. I need to get on it, like just like Rob Stark is in this universe. But moving
That's
on.
right.
But moving.
Brat. That was good.
Moving on, though, I do want to talk a little bit about Fenris Wolf. We kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier. I love the design and the visual effects on this character. Now,
sick green eyes.
Yeah,
too.
in the comics, this character is a lot more powerful. But that being said, obviously, you had to, sell with Hela being the perennial threat. But I still thought Fenris Wolf was pretty menacing. I mean, he bit Hulk, and when they're battling, you saw the green blood coming out. So that battle, like the way they're flying through the water right below the Rainbow Bridge, and then he knocks him off the end in the waterfall. Like
insane.
Again, the visuals and the fight. Like I didn't feel like I'd be so invested in CGI characters just battling and fighting it out. And maybe I could be wrong. Kind of felt a little bit like a callback to Ang Lee's 2003 The Hulk when he fights the 3 big mutant dogs. I don't know. Maybe I'm overanalyzing that a little too much, but I did love the way Fenris Wolf was used in this, and I thought he really did give off that prevailing and menacing threat, especially when he was fighting Hulk. I really appreciated those scenes.
Mm-hmm. I did too.
It's a big puppy.
He's a beautiful big puppy.
Not as big as that 3-headed dog in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, is it?
That was a pretty big dog.
Fluffy. Fluffy! Of course I named him Fluffy. That's what they should have named Fenris in this. Fluffy.
Pop.
We gotta talk, of course, about Idris Elba as Heimdall. Now, he did his best looking like Bishop in this film from X-Men Days of Future Past. He did kind of look like Bishop, but no, it is Heimdall, and you can obviously tell by that prevailing, menacing voice that he has. Him and Benedict,
orange eyes, too.
Yeah, him and Benedict Cumberbatch, by the way, those two have like the greatest voices ever. But getting back to, and they're both, by the way, Shere Khan in Jungle Book. Their own,
really?
Yeah. Well, he was in the Jon Favreau Jungle Book, and now Benedict Cumberbatch is Shere Khan in Andy Serkis's Warner Brothers The Jungle Book. Yeah, because we don't have enough Jungle Book movies.
We don't have enough Benedict Cumberbatch. Am I right, Cumberbitches?
I think you're right.
He was sick in this movie.
He was. I loved his Doctor Strange scenes too.
Dude, he was great. I just love Doctor Strange. I just love.
Well, yeah, and also I like that sets up like they're gonna be future teammates, obviously, on the Avengers and prevailing to stop obviously Thanos. So I kind of thought that it set the tone in terms of their chemistry. Like really, like I could totally see Doctor Strange working with the Avengers now after this entire scene we've had with him.
And just messing with Loki. Just bored the whole time. I'd love to see
And
more
by the
of
way,
that.
you're going to hear me say this on every video that has to do with Avengers Infinity War. We need that scene between Benedict Cumberbatch and Robert Downey Jr. where one of them looks at each other and says, "No shit, Sherlock." Right?
That'd be cool. That would be meta for
Both
sure.
Sherlock.
I would love to see that happen.
Let's see it. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it for Anita, guys.
Do it for me.
Kevin
please.
Feige, if
I'm
you're
a
watching this
huge
video, do it for Anita.
Sherlock Holmes
Not for me.
fan.
I definitely don't want it, but do it for Anita.
I want it. Please.
Getting back to Idris Elba as Heimdall, I love where this character's come from the first movie, the second movie to this film, and again, I guess in that one scene we see him in Avengers Age of Ultron. He's not really in that movie, but again, I like seeing how he's really leading, I guess, not the revolution, but just more saving the Asgardians and leading them to safety, because obviously he can see where everyone and anyone is coming. I know I kind of did a theory video on who I think has the Soul Stone, and they really did not answer that in this film, but I kind of more on the harp of he still might have it, and because the way he was able to communicate with Thor and give Thor the orange eyes, I don't know, just it maybe still felt like he possibly might have the Soul Stone, but I also saw some people commenting on our video, they said it could be in Black Panther, with the Soul Tree and all that, and so I could see that too, obviously, but
we'll see.
I'm still on that, but I thought Idris Elba, again, gave a fantastic performance, and I loved his action sequences.
Yeah, had some cool fights with with the sword and the
Bifrost sword, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that the Willy Wonka music, it was pretty rad when he was kind of going through to meet.
And I he was on like a seat, like he's on a ride or something.
Like on the boat,
that
in
was
that
really
trippy
cool.
tunnel.
That was a great scene. And then you get at the end of it, and it's the Grandmaster.
You're about to meet the Grandmaster, and he just starts yelling.
He's the Willy Wonka of this whole planet.
He kind of was it was very fitting music actually. So it's kind of random that it was Willy Wonka in the Marvel universe, but who cares? I mean, it works.
just adds to that. It just adds to the trippy vibe of the film. Also, we know that Kevin Bacon in Footloose does exist in this universe. As you remember, Star-Lord made the mention of that to Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy by a good fella named Kevin Bacon in Footloose. And also there was a line in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 where David Hasselhoff was mentioned several times throughout the film. So
we know that they exist in
But Matt Damon does not. He only exists as an
Hasselfrau.
Sorry, my bad.
He's an Asgardian, so Matt Damon is... There's no Matt Damon. Sorry.
I hope he survived. I hope he survived Hela's attack, by the way.
Oh, maybe he got
on the
They better have gotten out. We want them in more sequels. We need reenactments of every scene from these movies.
No, Korg came up to him. He's like, hey, man, you got to get on the ship so you can be in some more cameos and some more movies.
Hey, man, I'm Korg. This is Meek. Yo, Matt Damon. We need to be in more movies together.
I gotta say, I thought Korg was
He's one of my favorite characters. I
love that all character. His dialogue was so hilarious.
And his
I tried to start a revolution, but I didn't hand out enough flyers.
Wasn't that the director's voice?
That was Taika Waititi.
Yeah, I think he probably did the acting too. Like
this is his best comic book film since he starred in The Green Lantern in 2011 with Ryan Reynolds. That film sucked, I know. But this is, obviously, I like his character.
Even I know that. Yeah, I'm not a movie.
That movie did suck. But no, we did, I agree. Ryan Reynolds was fine. The movie just sucked.
I know.
But getting back to Korg, Taika Waititi, the way he nails the awkward dialogue and and again, I know I've always said in the past, I'm not the biggest fan of humor and humorless situations, but the way he said, like, when the whole planet of Asgard's being destroyed, it's like, it's okay. The foundations are still there. We can still rebuild. And no, never mind. The foundations are gone. Never mind.
Brilliant.
Like, it's just...
Like, if I had to choose one that was too much, it would probably be that one. But it still didn't bother me that much.
It was still funny. Like, I get it. It's not a moment to lay a joke, but it's the way he says it. It's so funny.
It didn't bother. It didn't bother me.
Yeah. What did y'all think of Stan Lee's awesome cameo?
Please don't cut me, sir.
He actually had, like, a legitimate, like, role in the movie. And now Thor is just... hairless.
I know, and that was very reminiscent of like Samson and Delilah with the hair getting cut off because he thought he had no power, and it was just like very like symbolic to that, I feel.
You're saying he finally had like a role that's like perennial to the plot. Are you saying that was not the case when he was the FedEx agent for Tony Stank?
That doesn't matter about the plot.
No, I know. I'm making a joke, man.
Costuming was way better. Yeah,
I would say more of the plot is when he tries to fully grab Monier from that truck, but that's just because guys are trying to grab Monier and hit this. Did it work? So funny, but no, this is one of my favorite cameos from him since Deadpool, where he played the DJ.
Please don't cut off my hair, kind sir. Please.
No.
I'm not as good as I used to be with my hands.
Man, that was so.
He gave him a pretty good cut.
I'm really sad that Thor's hair is gone.
I used to feel that way. Oh yeah, they did a good job.
So is he gonna have a patch now the rest of the time?
I know. I guess so.
I thought they did a good job of hiding that in the trailers, because there are several trailers where after the eye gets cut out, they completely still. If you rewatch those trailers, and I'm glad they kept it in. I would have been very angry if I would have found that out before I saw the film. So I'm really happy, and they are getting way better at hiding stuff in trailers. So, and by the way, there was some deleted stuff we saw from the trailers. Obviously, we talked about when Hela's first arrival in New York. I think there's a scene where Loki flips up his knives. Yeah, we saw in the trailer. I don't think we ever saw that one in the scene.
I'm sure that was during the fight scene at the end, like on the Bifrost.
And I think also in the trailer we saw a little more of the Valkyrie's opening, where she kind of loses to Hela and all the Valkyrie are slain. I think there was a lot more to that scene that, again, as Anita pointed out, buy that Blu-ray because we're going to want to see those scenes.
They're learning from Star Wars, because Star Wars does a really good job, at least with the last two, of their trailers not really giving away anything and even kind of misdirecting you, like the whole scene with Rey talking to I'm blanking on his name. No.
Kylo Ren?
Talking to Kylo Ren, and they're like, I need someone to show me, and like they're totally different shots.
Misdirect. But Jason, remember, this is not going to go the way you think.
Okay, back to Thor.
Yes, back to Thor, guys. Sorry, we got so caught up in our Star Wars stuff.
Bunch of nerds.
We are. We're all nerds.
We love nerds.
Nerds. We need to do a review of Revenge of the Nerds.
I'm just not the biggest.
Nah.
But I'm still a nerd. Okay.
You're part of the club.
I think it's
you're part of the losers club.
Like a nerd is just someone who is very passionate about something.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm very passionate about all these
things.
I just don't retain as much as y'all do. You're so good at it.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Now, getting really quickly to that Quinjet scene where Thor escapes and Hulk throws a pouty fit. When he goes in there, I got to mention, I love the dialogue that's going on in the Quinjet where strongest Avenger. It's like, damn you, stuff.
Yes, that was so
Point Break. Of course, it's a reference to the point when he calls him Point Break in the Avengers. He's like, no hard feelings, Point Break. You got a mean swing. So and then Hulk when Bruce Banner he goes, Banner, welcome, strongest Avenger.
Yeah, he's like, what?
What? Like, there's just again that chemistry, the banter. You still feel Robert Downey Jr.'s presence, Tony Stark's presence in this, even when he's not around.
Yeah,
like, obviously, the Duran shirt, by Paul Nagel that he's wearing.
So
cool. I love that shirt. I want to buy that shirt.
Me too. I was like, oh my god, is he wearing Duran? That's rad.
I love Duran.
And I love the way too how they made Hulk turn back into Banner by showing Scarlet Witch real quick and like. That whole line of
hey big guy, sun's getting real. Big guy, sun's getting real.
That was one of the funniest running jokes.
I was dying.
Especially the scene in the fight where he's like has that face. He's like trying to do it for the first time. Obviously, you knew it wasn't gonna work. Yeah. But like, I just thought I was cracking
Him trying
up.
Was great.
As soon as he said, "Hey, big guy," I just started cracking up in the theater because I knew that where they were going with that.
And that's also too harping back to his feelings that he feels towards Black Widow. And I was kind of conflicted because even though their relationship kind of did come out from an on-screen
it came out a little bit.
It did come out of nowhere, but obviously you go in the back of your mind.
Where's Betty at?
No. That's what I was about to say. I was going to say that Black Widow and him spend time together, so you just accept that they're getting it together. But my whole thing is, what about Betty Ross? I have heard
You're in a triangle, Feeny.
Feeny. Boy Meets World jokes, guys. We're going to get out of that and go back to Thor Ragnarok now. But yeah, I thought I did like that Quinjet scene. It just, again, it obviously sets the tone in terms of now we've learned that Bruce Banner has been the Hulk for 2 years, which is why he's able to talk and has a vocabulary now instead of Hulk smash and all that other or puny god. Like now he's upped his vocabulary. I wonder if he's been seeing a Sicarian vocabulary teacher there. Maybe. I don't know. It makes you wonder though. But anyways, he did great.
In mind?
It is. But I thought he did like I did
no.
like.
I guess not.
I did like though again. I thought I liked how that scene just again let us know that he has been the Hulk for 2 years. It's interesting that the Hulk was finally able to hold that strong will on Bruce Banner because Bruce is usually able to become himself after like a few hours or so.
Well, he usually like 2 years.
Or usually has Black Widow or somebody helping him to get back. But
Well, I mean, which he had again.
But in Incredible, but in Incredible Hulk, he became by himself. He would turn back into the Bruce Banner sometimes too before he caught up with Betty Ross. But I see you're right. Hey, big guy, sun's getting real low. Of course, I love that line.
Sun's getting real low. Sun's getting
real low.
Stop saying that.
Yeah. So cute.
I gotta say too, we kind of mentioned Thor and Loki earlier on. I love when they go all Ghostbusters on the Sicarians and they're escaping and they're like shooting like, hello, hi. Like again, and then the get help thing. Like they are just so good together. Their chemistry is so freaking wonderful.
Amazing. I love watching them on screen together.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite part of the Thor kind of movies. Just
those two.
Their dynamic, their brotherly dynamic, and I felt like Loki does not feel nearly as evil as he did, especially in Avengers in the first one, or in even Thor 2. He was just more comedic and just kind of lighthearted and
more lovable.
They felt more, totally, but they just felt like straight up brothers more than like hero and villain kind of thing.
I agree with everything you just said, but on the flip side of that too, I like where they've made him as a character because all he really wants is to rule, and he's just trying to get in goodwill with the Grandmaster and use his brother as a reward. So I agree with you. He's not as evil and menacing as he was in those other films, but he's still the god of mischief, and he still is going to betray you if it makes him get something grand and again he's so narcissistic and so such into self-glory in himself, and I appreciate that so much in the character. And Tom Hiddleston, he's amazing.
Sorry, brother, but this time it's really not personal. And then Thor just has the thing so perfect.
Yeah.
Well, also, too, if you notice, he gave him the little tap on the eye. I noticed the second time I saw the movie, because obviously you know when to expect things, but the second time he gave that little,
where he put the thing on?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Very subtle.
Round and around we go, where I trust you and you betray me.
You'll never change. No, that was a great dialogue.
Here, I'll just leave this over here for you.
And then go, hey man, I'm cool. This is Meek. We're gonna start a revolution. Wanna come on that ship with us?
You guys do look like you're in need of leadership.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, yeah.
I love I'm sorry, the dialogue in this film was so freaking good.
It's well written.
It really was.
It was definitely my favorite Thor movie.
Oh, absolutely,
by far.
For sure.
And I love, too, when Banner meets Thor, or meets Loki again for the first time, and they have it like, so where are you these days? Oh, I go back and forth.
And then, like, the facial conveyance, like,
hey, wait a minute. This guy just said he wants to kill us. Should we trust him or no?
But on the flip side, I love Loki's reaction when Thor says, Loki, look who it is! I need to get off this planet because obviously,
like,
obviously,
obviously, Grandmaster stops. Where are you going?
Yeah, obviously, last time they met with each other in the battle in New York, he just used him like a ragdoll.
No, and then when he does it, he's like, yes, no, you know how that feels.
Yes, I love
yeah, except but the difference was that Thor didn't go.
Well, Thor's a little stronger than Loki.
Just a little bit.
That was a sick fight, by the way.
I
think they did that one really well. Like, they each had their moments where they were beating each other up and very well choreographed.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the fight, Anita?
I thought it was great.
What was your favorite part of the fight? When Thor went all Raiden-y or when Hulk was smashing him?
Well, I honestly thought the funny parts were my favorite.
Hey, big guy.
Yeah.
Sun's getting
like the fact that he freaked out and he was like, oh my god, look who it is. I actually was halfway expecting, when I saw the gate open up, I was halfway expecting just, I don't know why, because I've been conditioned. No, a small monster. Oh. Like a small badass monster.
But like one that would just kill everybody.
Yeah, just like a cute little cuddly vicious character, and then when it was Hulk, I'm like, oh, even better.
I wish I had that thought in my mind, but the trailer kind of ruined that for me.
Oh, see, I don't want trailers.
See, you're the
I don't like to watch trailers.
I do. Actually,
but I know, like whenever I go on my friend's channel.
Guys, I can't help it. I see a Thor trailer, I'm going to watch it.
The thing is, when I go to see movies, I know I'm not going to just like, no, I'm not watching the trailer. I'm not watching the trailer.
Oh, I usually.
I do it for guys. If you ever come watch a movie with us, I do it for Jason. I cover his eyes and ears so he doesn't have to watch it. We don't want things being spoiled for people we care about. All right. Don't spoil things for other people, guys. I got spoiled with Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Damn you to that person. That really sucks.
So annoying.
No.
It really actually is. Very annoying.
But
spoiled. Like for instance, I'm glad like that Matt Damon reveal. I'm glad I had no idea about that, or even
that's why I love watching trailers and stuff, because it's stuff like that they ruin in that trailer.
Well, even Hela
you want it in the moment when you're watching.
I agree. I was shocked and surprised, but also like Hela being his sister, they did a great job. I thought she was gonna be the mother. So again, in the trailers, I thought they did a really good job with this film of hiding a lot of what really went down in the story. Because I also thought that Surtur and Hela were gonna team up and work together to stop Thor. I had no idea that the twist ending we were going to get where Thor has come to the understanding that Asgard is not a place, it's a people. We were never meant to stop Ragnarok. We were meant to cause it. Because there's no other way to stop Hela. And what I loved is they made this villain impossible, basically, to stop. They made her like the T-1000 from Terminator 2 Judgment Day, where how do you stop this killing machine?
Literally
you have to destroy everything, because that's where she draws her power from. And obviously, sorry, go ahead.
I love that resolve. I thought, I was literally thinking about them, all right, how are they going to beat Hela? And then, the way that they brought it all back from the beginning about how he was talking about Ragnarok and stuff, he's like, comes to that realization, and it's a big sacrifice because he's blowing up his whole home planet.
Yeah.
But I just thought the resolve, the way that they defeat the villain was great. It wasn't convenient. I mean, it was nice that they had it to do it, but that's a pretty big decision to make. And even Loki says, bold move even for me. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I don't think we've seen the last of Hela.
Oh, for sure, no.
I think that was definitely not her demise.
Thanos is going to resurrect her. Yeah. If it's not in Infinity War, it's in the fourth Avengers film, which comes out 1 year after Infinity War comes out in May of 2019. So they're definitely... Because also you see in the first Avengers film, not Captain America, the first Avenger, 2012's The Avengers, you see in the end post-credit sting, or the mid-credit sting, where we see Thanos... You see the character, I forgot the character's name that Ronan kills in Guardians of the Galaxy. Go ahead and correct me in the comments.
Yeah.
But he says to Thanos, to challenge them is to court death. And what is Hela? She's the goddess of death. So clearly that is going to be his love interest, and he's going to resurrect her. So, dude, a Mad Titan with Josh Brolin's voice and Cate Blanchett, how are you not eating up that relationship?
True. Good point.
Hotness.
Yeah, that's pretty hot.
Now, one character we forgot to mention in this incredible cast, there's so many amazing actors and actresses in this cast that you almost forget some people are even in this for a second, but going back to Karl Urban as Skurge, first of all, when we first meet this character with the humor of him using the shake weight
and my stuff!
And him running to go announce Thor's presence and all that.
You had one job!
But and then, I'm just the janitor. And again,
he was such a cute character.
What I liked about his character is obviously he's not he gets more menacing when he has the M16s, but he's a survivor, and that's what I appreciate about his character is he'll do anything to survive. But obviously, I think the biggest moment that I appreciated before we get to the sacrifice, of course, was that moment when he was about to execute the woman. Like, you could see the conflict in his face. He did not want to do it. Like, he's only doing it because he knows Hela's going to destroy him in 2 seconds if he doesn't. So, I also thought what was interesting in this movie, Hela basically gave him the role as executioner as the role that Odin gave her when she was head of his army. She was she was Odin's executioner. And now he is Hela's executioner, although he's not as crazy and dangerous and
I don't know,
menacing.
when he had those guns, though.
Hey,
that was
Des and Troy.
That was awesome.
Sorry.
I thought that was a pretty smart joke, because obviously
Texas.
Des and Troy are two famous, cowboys.
Yes.
And then they says destroy.
Dang it, I forgot to put that in my Easter egg videos. Des and Troy are obviously Dallas Cowboys. Duh.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was funny.
Awesome.
And by the way, anything that comes from Texas is classy. We know that. Right, Anita?
Yes, we do.
So,
Texas, home.
come on, you gotta know. You love that line when he says, I come from a
do,
badass place, Texas.
I loved it. It was amazing. I was like, hell yeah.
And it was good redemption, too, where he pulled them out at the end and just went ham on those guys.
So cowboy. I was
you
like,
saw, I mean, he was obviously looking out for the Asgardians' lives, but when he saw those kids, the way that he couldn't let it happen. And again, it just shows, you know, that,
and
he said
redeem himself.
exactly as he said that line earlier.
Not only redemption, but it just shows he's kind of a moral compass, and he's even though he's an Asgardian, he's got a human conscience, and he's a very good person. And again, he was just trying to survive. He wasn't trying to be bad.
No.
So I think I really appreciate that, and also too that the way he sacrifices himself and goes out fighting Hela, that actually is exactly what happened in the comic books. And I know a lot of people felt spoiled when they were showing him with the M16s just fighting. They're like, is that from that comic book storyline where he sacrifices himself? It's like a 3-part. I think it was issue number 362 for Thor. I could be wrong on the number, but I believe it was 360 through 362. But yeah, just like I love that visual imagery of just capturing the comic books, and they do that in a lot of these MCU films. Because in Captain America: Civil War, we see when Iron Man and Cap are like they got the iconic Civil War shot. So I love when they capture, you know, visual moments from the comics, like homages. Yeah, they're really cool.
Great.
So
I agree.
all right, so just concluding, like I said, I love this film. It was incredible. It had amazing humor. It had incredible dialogue, really good action, really intriguing characters. The human depth in this film was at really high, had a lot of dramatic and compelling moments, had a lot of humor. But what I appreciated about the humor was that it lightened up a lot of the dark undertones throughout the film. The cinematography was sensational. After seeing it a second time, I really noticed how much better the cinematography was than I originally thought the first time. And again, the visuals with Hulk, with Hela fighting, going through the trippy visuals of going through the Bifrost. Everything is just on point. Again, my only gripes in this film is Thor not feeling the weight of what happened with the Warriors 3. Other than that, I can't really think of too many. And I know you kind of had that one gripe with the electricity. But again, that was an Asgardian doing it, so that one didn't bother me. But I get your gripe. But obviously, this movie, I didn't have really very many gripes. And like I said, I'm still going to stick with my original score that I gave it on the non-spoiler review of 9 out of 10. I love this movie. It's definitely in my top 5 or 6 of the MCU films.
Cool. Wait, do we all rate it?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I don't want to rate it. I think it's wonderful.
Rate it.
I am not a critic.
Rate it.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep it at my score of 9, too. I just think it's everything that you would want in a comic book movie. It's fun. It's funny. There's great action. It's very visually appealing. Just a whole lot of fun to watch. I mean, there's not really much more I can even say about it.
And it's got Loki in it.
Yes,
Enough
that's
said.
too. One of my favorite characters, too. So
Even with my gripe, I'm going to give it a 10. Because I
Wow.
just want to give it a 10. Because I thought it was a great movie. So
it really was. It's
rating
deserving of a
system.
10. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna stick with 9, but if you gave it a 10, I totally would kind of
y'all
agree.
are like professionals here. So I'm giving it a 10 out of the kindness of my heart. Even with the gripes, don't care. 0 fucks given. Beautiful movie. Thank you for putting that out there. Marvel.
It was a beautiful
I
movie.
loved
And
it.
thank you to Taika Waititi. I hope he gets to direct another Marvel film or another comic book film at some point.
I wonder how he'd handle at least working with the Guardians, because it kind of would. They already have that.
They have James
funny
Gunn,
vibe,
but no,
yeah.
I mean, then obviously this film had a little bit of the Guardians vibe in
Yeah,
it, but yeah, no, I mean that'd be interesting. But obviously James Gunn is in charge of that. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this review. We are going to be coming up. We are going to be doing some reviews and some Easter egg videos when Justice League comes out in the next few weeks. So definitely be on the lookout for that. We obviously have some more Thor videos still on the way. We got the post credits, the mid credits scene is going to be explained. Also, The Death of Loki of Asgard. We might be explaining that scene because that reenactment was one of the best scenes in the movie. But anyways, that's going to do for this video. We want to thank our lovely guest, Anita Star. Thank you so much.
You're welcome anytime.
Yeah, anytime you want. And
anytime you need comic relief and someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, I'll be here.
And also someone who should have been Hela, but we'll sell for Kate Blanchett.
So glad that she was available.
It's a good thing it's a good thing she took over for you. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, and you can also find Anita on her channel, which is
Anita Stargazer. If you want, you can check it out.
Do it. It's got great content. Subscribe to that channel immediately.
Thank you.
Do
They're
it.
my friends. They have to say that.
No, we don't. We don't.
$20 each. But
I thought I told you not to tell anyone that you paid us, dude. Come on. Oh, sorry, didn't see we were on camera stuff. Yeah, but anyway, subscribe to her channel. Subscribe. Do it.
Subscribe to their channel. Hit the notification bell. They're awesome. Please, come on. Two nerdy, awesome, handsome gentlemen. Why wouldn't you want to be on their channel, subscribed with the notifications? I am, so you should too, you know?
Listen to her.
And you've seen him on my channel, and you will see Jason on my channel as well. So, something to look forward to.
Anyways, that's going to do for this video, guys. If you like this content and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. See you guys next time. like Valkyrie.
Do that to the subscribe button.